Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip Trailer Breakdown. Welcome to Movie Vault. If there's one thing we've learned from family comedies over the years, it's that no matter how bad a day can get, things can always get worse. And now, Disney is back with a sequel to their 2014 hit Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Day. But this time, they're taking the chaos on the road. That's right. Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip is here. And from the looks of the trailer, it's packed with non-stop disaster, hilarity, and heartfelt moments that will make you laugh, cringe, and maybe even shed a tear. So buckle up, because we're breaking down every major moment, hidden detail, and possible twist from the official trailer. Let's hit the road. The opening, a family with a plan. That's doomed to fail. The trailer kicks off with an idyllic scene, a bright, sunny morning in the Cooper family's suburban neighborhood. The whole family is outside, standing next to their SUV, fully packed for what is supposed to be the perfect road trip. We see Alexander, now a little older, standing next to his mom, Jennifer Garner, returning to the role, and his dad, rumored to be played by another comedic actor if Steve Carell doesn't return. His older brother and baby sister are in the back, and the whole family is looking at the car with excitement. This trip is going to bring us all together, his mom says optimistically, completely unaware of the disasters waiting for them. And just like that, we cut to the title card. From the studio that brought you Alexander's No Good, Very Bad Day. We all know this road trip is about to go very, very wrong. Act 1, the journey begins. Sort of. The first part of the trailer establishes the classic road trip montage. You know, the moments where everything seems fine before chaos inevitably takes over. We see the family in the car, singing loudly to a very off-key version of an old pop song, playing road trip games, and snacking on way too many chips. It's a brief glimpse of normalcy. But then, it happens. The first disaster, the wrong turn. Dad is driving confidently when the GPS suddenly announces, recalculating, make a U-turn at the next available exit. Cut to Alexander's horrified expression as he asks, Dad, did you miss the exit? Cue the dramatic music as the camera zooms in on Dad's face, sweat forming on his forehead. Mom glances nervously at the map on her phone. And then, don't worry, we'll take the scenic route. And just like that, they veer onto a dusty, abandoned back road that no one should ever take. Act 2, the disaster chain reaction begins. Once the wrong turn happens, the floodgates of bad luck open, and suddenly the road trip transforms into a full-blown survival adventure. Here's where the trailer shifts gears and delivers a rapid-fire montage of everything that goes horribly, horribly wrong. Flat tire fiasco. The car suddenly jerks to a stop, and Dad jumps out, exclaiming, "Oh, come on!" as he stares at a tire that has somehow gone completely flat. The whole family stands on the side of the road while Dad struggles to change it, accidentally knocking over the jack in the process. Gas station chaos. The family finally finds a gas station, but the moment they step inside, disaster strikes. A raccoon sneaks into the car through an open window, wreaking havoc as Alexander and his siblings scream in terror. Cut to the raccoon sitting in the driver's seat, looking almost smug. The creepy motel. After hours of driving, they stop at the only available motel, which turns out to be straight out of a horror movie. Flickering lights, questionable stains on the beds, and a front desk clerk, played by a well-known comedian, who keeps offering them fresh towels that aren't fresh at all. Just when we think things can't get worse. Act 3. Things go from bad to unbelievably worse. The family is exhausted, dirty, and at their absolute breaking point. Just as they're about to give up, the final act of the trailer throws in some of the biggest disasters yet. The accidental police encounter. Trying to get some sleep in their car, since the motel was a nightmare, they accidentally park in front of a no parking zone, triggering an alarm that wakes up the whole town. Suddenly, they're surrounded by confused police officers asking why they're trying to break into their own car. The parade mishap. The family's desperate attempt to find a shortcut somehow leads them directly into the middle of a parade. Their car gets stuck between marching bands and giant balloons, and in one final moment of slapstick comedy, a rogue float crashes into them, sending confetti and streamers flying everywhere. And then, silence. Cut to the family, sitting on a bench, covered in confetti, mud, and exhaustion. Alexander looks up at his mom and dad and says, "I told you this was a terrible idea." The final moments, the heartfelt message. Despite all the chaos, the trailer takes a brief moment to remind us what this movie is all about: family. There's a soft, emotional scene where Alexander and his mom sit together at sunset, staring at their wrecked car. "Maybe some families just aren't meant to have great vacations," Alexander says, feeling guilty for even suggesting the trip in the first place. His mom smiles and responds, "Sometimes the worst trips make the best memories." Cue a final montage of the family laughing despite all the disasters, because no matter how bad things get, they still have each other. The final scene, one last disaster. As the trailer comes to an end, we get one last joke, a classic post-credit style gag. The family finally reaches their destination, a beautiful, picturesque beach. They stand in awe, breathing in the ocean air, and then a giant seagull swoops down and steals their last bag of snacks. Cue the chaotic screaming one more time. Title card: Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip. Coming soon. Final thoughts: will this sequel be worth it? Based on the trailer, this sequel seems to perfectly capture the spirit of the original, but on a much bigger scale. The road trip setting allows for fresh new disasters, an eccentric supporting cast, and even more ways for things to go hilariously wrong. If you loved the first movie, this one looks like it will deliver even more laughs while still keeping the heartwarming family message. Are you excited for Alexander and the Terrible, Horrible, No Good, Very Bad Road Trip? Let us know in the comments. And as always, make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned to Movie Vault for more in-depth trailer breakdowns and upcoming movie coverage.